So, you want to lose weight? Well, I can give you a couple tips and pointers that'll help you reach that goal you want to reach. Follow me.
I'm outside in an AMG, right outside, TT, two-turn baby.
Now, when it comes to dieting and losing weight, there are multiple key factors that you want to look at in order to ensure that you're maximizing each day and each week. But there are three important things that we'll talk about today in this video. And these are the keys to really allow you to lose weight. And number one, caloric deficit. All being in a caloric deficit means is you're consuming less calories than you burn per day, okay? And it's easy to do that when you have things like macro tracking, if it fits your macros, all those things that we'll go over in this video, all right? But ensuring that you're eating less calories than you burn is making smarter and better choices. So instead of eating foods like these, that are not gonna be super nutritious, that are gonna cause you to eat way more carbs and fats, saturated fats, so on and so forth, you wanna replace them with more so things like these, right? And these are just snacks that we got out for right now, breakfast and snacks and stuff like that we got out for right now. But there are many healthy choices that you can make to ensure that you are maximizing on the food that you eat per day and staying in a calorie deficit. Now, to really ensure that you're in a calorie deficit, there are a few different tools that you can use to kind of track what you're eating. You want to get used to tracking the foods that you're putting in your body each and every day. So you got something like MyFitnessPal that you can use, which is one thing that I love to use because it has a variety of foods that you can put in there. Typically, everything that you're gonna scan on the back of your nutritional facts, your barcode and everything like that to get the nutritional facts, everything is typically gonna input automatically once you put it in there, and then you just kind of have to play with the serving sizes that you're eating. Only downside to it is it's like $20 a month. So if you don't want to pay monthly for that, you have something like Chronometer that you can use as well, which is Chronometer does the exact same thing as MyFitnessPal. Biggest difference is, I don't know, I guess I just like the UI on MyFitnessPal more than Chronometer, but they both really do the same thing. There are a few foods that I've seen that Chronometer doesn't have. Not to say doesn't have, doesn't have. There are a few foods on there that MyFitnessPal has that Chronometer doesn't have, but for the most part, they're really tit for tat. And you can also pay for Chronometer, but the free version gives you the entire app for the most part, so why pay for it? Also, being in a caloric deficit means picking a diet. So many different things out there, so many different options for you to choose from, okay? So you're gonna have things like keto, you're gonna have things like carnivore, you're gonna have things like, if it fits your macros, you're gonna have the traditional Western, you're gonna have paleo, all these different type of diets. The best way to ensure that you're in a calorie deficit and you're having fun while you are dieting, because that's really the most important thing, is making sure that you're having fun while you're dieting, is to pick the diet that you're going to stick to. There's no such thing as the perfect diet. I wish people would stop saying, hey, get on this diet, hop on this diet. And no, do not get on freaking Ozempic. It's not needed, okay? But I get sick and tired of people saying, oh, you gotta hop on this diet, you gotta hop on that diet. Whatever the case may be, pick a diet that you're gonna be able to stick to. Me personally, I have tried carnivore and I have tried keto. I started this weight loss journey around 380. I'm currently down to 350. It started in late October. It is February now, so that's right about 10 pounds per month, right? So did not do keto. I did try. I do not stick to keto. I did try keto. I tried carnivore as well. Personally, I couldn't stick to them because I feel so restricted. And for me, anytime I feel restricted to one thing, I'm quick to say, nah, you know what? I'm not going that route. And that's pretty much how a lot of us are. It's pretty much how a lot of us are. We don't stick to something when we feel restricted or stuck to doing one specific type of diet. So I personally did not care for keto. I did not care for carnivore because there are certain foods that I want to eat that I could not eat. And it may be the same for some of y'all. Don't pick a diet that you know you are not going to stick to. It does have many benefits to it, but if you know you can't stick to it, don't do it. Personally, me, I like the ability of waking up in the morning and saying, hey, what am I gonna, I like the challenge when it comes to macro tracking and inputting your inputting everything in to hit your calories and your macros for the day. I like to have that challenge of getting up in the morning and deciding, you know what, hey, I think I'm gonna eat this, I'm gonna eat this. And then once you start scanning everything and putting it into your food tracker, seeing that you hit it to the head, right? Or like me, I put foods in the day before, so that way I already know what I'm gonna eat. But I like the ability of getting up in the morning and saying, hey, I'm gonna have a bagel with you know, half serving of strawberry cream cheese with eggs and turkey bacon. Whereas if I'm on keto, the only thing that I can typically eat is, you know, mainly eggs and bacon. It's great, and of course avocado and stuff like that. It's great when you first start, but if you can't stick to it, eventually it's like you'll get worn out of those type of foods. So, you know, it's not knocking anybody who does keto or anything like that. It's not knocking anybody who picks a specific diet. Each diet, what I'm saying is make sure you pick the diet that is gonna work for you. Each diet has its own benefits. So make sure that you're gonna pick a diet that works for you. Me, I do If It Fits Your Macros. You can do anything else. Let's talk about macro tracking while we're on the subject of calorie deficit. Now, macro tracking. All macro tracking is you have a goal of carbs, fats, and proteins that you're going to hit per day, which are going to equal out to your calories that you're going to partake in per day. Okay, so if you have a goal of hitting, let's say 50 grams of fats, 300 grams of carbs, and 200 grams of protein, you don't want to in one sitting sit down and eat half of your fats. You don't want to sit down and have, you know, a full thing of peanut butter along with, you know, I don't know, whatever makes up a lot of your fatty foods. You don't want to sit down and have too many of fats or too many of certain things in one sitting. You want to space it out. So that's why you see so many people eat multiple meals in a day, and that's why you see so many people sometimes eat the same meals. I'll be honest with you. Macro tracking, especially when you're somebody like me who has a 9-to-5, when you're on the go, a lot of macro tracking and ensuring that you're hitting your calories each and every day is repetitive, it's repetition, it's eating the same thing each and every day. Sometimes you have to get used to eating beef and rice, chicken and rice for lunch, and then turning around and coming home and eating, you know, tilapia and something like that, whatever the case may be. But if it's allowing you to hit your goals each and every day, it's best to be consistent, which is one thing that we've mentioned in this video as far as losing weight. And it's best to ensure that you're hitting your calories and your macros each and every day. I get a lot of people get online and they make these meals and they make it look so, you know, unique, and they make dieting look like this, that, and the third. But I'll be honest with you, most people, when it comes to macro tracking, they're eating the same thing every day. Now, when it comes to getting to the weekend and stuff like that, that's when you can start kind of mixing it up. You know what I mean? Making some type of protein pasta, or, you know, making protein tacos, or whatever the case may be. There's multiple different things that you can do and multiple different ways that you can hit those macros. It is extremely easy once you get used to it, but it's not as difficult as people make it out to be. So that is what I'm doing, macro tracking. Also, If It Fits Your Macros. The good thing about If It Fits Your Macros is, you know, you can decide like, hey, okay, this Rice Krispie treat fits in on my macros today. When it comes to the carbs, the fats, and the protein, it's not taking too much away from it, so I'll do that, right? I'm just using that as an example. That's the good thing about If It Fits Your Macros. It gives you a way to still eat some of the same foods that you like and not feel like you're on a diet. That's why I say I look forward to getting up in the morning and eating, you know, my bagel with my cream cheese and my eggs and turkey bacon and stuff like that. I look forward to eating my lunch. Whereas when you're on a restrictive diet where you can only eat this list of things that are in that diet tree, it becomes, you know, quite cumbersome, and it's not as fun. So that's why I say you got to pick the diet that you like, pick the diet that you know you can stick to, and you'll start to see the pounds shed off. So number one, most importantly, calorie deficit. You have to be in a calorie deficit, and to go hand in hand with it, you have to ensure that you are tracking your foods each and every day. So those are the two things right there that you want, really the 1A, 1B, so to say, they kind of go together. Those are the two things that you want to make sure that you're doing when you start your fitness journey. And although this isn't the most important, you definitely want to get active. You want to find yourself doing something simple like this, taking a walk. That's a nice day outside. Great day for a nice brisk walk. Getting up, getting active, along with being in a caloric deficit, will allow you to drop the weight that you're looking to drop. It may not be super fast like most people advertise it, but slow and steady wins the race. Always remember that. Slow and steady, being consistent is gonna allow you to get there. So going on a nice brisk walk outside is one way that you can do it. Another way to drop weight is to get active in the gym. Get you either a gym membership or go to your apartment gym. As you see, I'm here on the treadmill. You can work out and walk on a treadmill for a nice brisk walk. We got Stairmasters and everything back there, ellipticals. There are many different ways that you can get into the gym and get active, but you need to incorporate cardio along with my favorite thing, weight training. Yes, weight training. Weight training is by far my favorite thing to do. Okay, so weight training along with cardio, both together, you will see the pounds shed off of you like water. I promise you. Okay, be sure to give weight training the proper amount of time that you give cardio. The great thing about it is weight training along with macro tracking, being in a caloric deficit, is gonna target fat loss, and you can still build muscle while you are in a caloric deficit. Okay, so don't be afraid to get in and hit some squats, hit some bicep curls, prioritize each body part. You don't have to be a bodybuilder and go in here and, you know, lift the entire gym, but be sure that you're giving the weights in weight training the proper amount of time that you're giving cardio as well. The last and most important thing that you guys have to make sure you are doing when it comes to losing weight, when it comes to tracking macros, all of that stuff. We can talk about tracking macros, we can talk about getting up and getting active, you know, getting in the gym. We can talk about all those things. The number one thing that you have to make sure you're doing is you have to make sure you're being consistent each and every day. Don't fall in love with seeing the scale go down, because the scale is going to fluctuate. It's going to go up some days, it's going to go down some days. Don't fall in love with just getting up and training, because there are going to be days where you're tired and you don't feel like going to the gym like you felt the day before. Don't fall in love with motivation, right? Motivation is really, to me, the biggest downfall, because every day you're not motivated, right? And if you allow motivation to dictate your mood each and every day, well then, you know, some days you're not as motivated as others, so you won't be successful. In order to be successful is being consistent. That's why I said, you know, eating some of the same meals over and over and over again. That allows you to be consistent. You know the macros for those meals. That's why I said, you know, picking out certain types of training that you want to do, that you find fun for you. You do not have to get in the gym and lift the entire gym. You don't have to be like, you know, every great bodybuilder. You're not gonna be C-Bum, you're not gonna be Arnold, you're not gonna be Ronnie Coleman or anything like that. If that's your goal, if that's what you're trying to get to, be yourself, right? Be yourself, but be your consistent self. Expect the most out of yourself and be yourself. Be sure that you are sticking to your diet plan, saying no to certain things. When you start making changes, when you start making the proper changes to ensure that you're eating the right meals, you're eating your meals and stuff like that, people are gonna be like, oh, well, I got this party, why don't you wanna come, and stuff like, and things of that nature. If it don't fit your macros, if it doesn't fit your common goal for what you're trying to achieve, it's cool to say no, all right? But consistency is key. Being consistent is the only way that you're gonna see yourself drop weight each and every day, especially on the weekends. The people who can stick to their diet when it comes to the weekends are the people who typically succeed, because those are the times where we feel like we need to reward ourselves. And, you know, when we talk about cheat meals and, oh, let's have a cheat this, a cheat day, or anything like that, reward yourself after you've lost about 10 to 15 pounds. Reward yourself then. But don't reward yourself every weekend because you've been doing good, because all you're doing is what you should have been doing in the first place, okay? So, calorie deficit, training, getting active, and consistency. Those are the number 1, number 2, and number 3 ways that you will see yourself reaching your goals, your weight loss goals in 2025. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this. And don't forget to tell somebody you love them. But first, you have to tell yourself you love yourself, because if you don't love yourself, how you gonna love somebody else? You feel me? Until next time, I'll catch y'all. Peace.
I'm outside in an AMG, right outside.